Let's start with our first news. Islam Makhachev says Ilya got humbled after the White House card. Islam Makhachev says Ilya got humbled after the White House card. He said, "He who exalts himself will be humbled. There are levels in this game. Congratulations, Justin. You deserve this belt more than anyone." He also added that quitting in the biggest fight of your career is something not everybody can do. Rio Landanda. Last week, Arman revealed he bet $1 million on Justin Gaethje to beat Ilya. Arman ended up winning 5.7. This comes after intense buildup around the fight and massive reactions across MMA world. Fans and fighters reacted strongly to Islam's comments, with many agreeing that Ilya faced the harsh reality of elite competition. The rivalry between top contenders continues to heat up as Arman celebrates his big betting win mean, while Islam's statement has sparked debate over pressure and performance at the highest level of the sport. Ilya's loss remains the most talked about moments, with analysts pointing out the gap between hype and execution. The conversation now shifts toward what comes next for the division and who will rise under pressure. Experts believe Islam's remarks reflect the mindset of a champion focused on discipline and results. The fallout from the fight continues to shape discussions about legacy and future matchups. As tension builds, the mall world waits for the next big announcement in the lightweight and welterweight scenes. Every statement adds more fire to an already heated rivalry that continues to grow worldwide. This story highlights show quickly. Momentum shifts in MMA, where one fight can change perception rankings and future opportunities for every top contender involved. The discussion will continue as fighters respond and the division prepares for its next major showdown in the coming months. Expect more updates as situation develops very soon. Worldwide MMA. Move on to another news. Conor defends Ilia Topuria. He stated, "He earned a nice stripe, however tainted. He will get stronger from this beating. What a sport." His words showed respect despite the controversy, suggesting that Ilya's setback could become a turning point in his career rather than a downfall. This comes after Conor also addressed comments he made months ago, directed at Terence Crawford. The online exchange between fighters and boxers has been building for some time, with both sides trading opinions across social media platforms and interviews, adding more fuel to an already heated combat sports debate. Recently, Terence Crawford spoke out, saying, "This is the guy that said he would knock me out and whoop me and Shakur at the same time." The statement reignited discussions about crossover confidence between MMA fighters and elite boxers, with fans divided over who would truly dominate in a real matchup scenario. Conor responded sharply, saying, "What the f are you saying? You can wrestle, yet you were afraid of an MMA fight. That to me is pitiful. The kid was beaten in an MMA fight of which you don't have the courage for." His reaction highlighted the ongoing tension between disciplines and the pride fighters take in their respective sports. He continued by questioning why so many boxers appeared at MMA events but avoided stepping into the cage themselves, adding, "What the f was with all these little boxers at this show, yet no MMA fighters? These boys ain't man enough." The remarks intensified the debate, sparking reactions across both boxing and MMA communities. The situation reflects a larger rivalry between boxing and MMA cultures, where verbal clashes often escalate into public disputes and hypothetical fight talks. Conor's comments once again positioned him at the center of combat sports controversy, keeping fans engaged and divided over the ongoing narrative between elite athletes from both worlds. Media reaction has been intense across global MMA and boxing communities, with clips of the exchanges spreading rapidly on social platforms. Analysts have pointed out that such verbal confrontations often increase anticipation for potential crossover fights, while also deepening rivalry between the two. Sports fans continue to debate whether confidence in interviews translates into real performance inside the cage or ring, as both sides defend their legacies and reputations. The discussion remains active, with no sign of slowing down anytime soon. This rivalry continues to dominate headlines worldwide in combat sports media coverage. Daily updates. Move on to another news. Ilya brother Alexandre released a statement today. Alexandre was in Ilya's corner last night. He posted this on Instagram. He wrote, "Proud of everything you do and have done, my brother, in victory or in learning. Always grateful to God for everything." This message showed strong family support after a difficult night in competition. The statement quickly spread across MMA circles, with fans reacting to the emotional tone and respectful message from his brother. Many praised the unity and loyalty within Ilya's team, highlighting how support remains strong even after setbacks. Meanwhile, Islam Makhachev had words for Ilya following the recent developments, adding more tension to ongoing discussions in the division. His comments continued to circulate widely as analysts debated performance expectations and future matchups in the sport. The MMA world remains focused on what comes next for Ilya and how he responds after recent challenges inside the cage. Discussions are expected to continue as fighters and fans react to both emotional support statements and competitive rivalries, building around upcoming fights across major MMA promotions worldwide. The reaction also highlighted how quickly narratives shift in combat sports after high-profile events where public opinion often changes within hours of new statements being released. Supporters of Ilya pointed out that strong family backing plays a key role in recovery and mental resilience during intense competition periods. Analysts also noted that emotional posts like this can influence public perception as much as fight results themselves in the modern MMA era. Attention now shifts toward potential future bouts and how Ilya will adjust his strategy moving forward after facing elite-level opposition and heightened expectations from fans and media outlets around the world as discussions continue to evolve across social platforms and sports broadcasts, emphasizing every detail of recent events and reactions within the division, while maintaining focus on upcoming opportunities and competitive storylines developing in real time across global MMA communities. The situation remains shyly discussed and continues to generate strong engagement from fans, analysts, and fighters alike as anticipation builds for what happens next in Ilya's career journey and how he responds to both praise and criticism emerging from recent events shaping the current MMA landscape. The discussion is expected to remain active in the coming days as more reactions emerge from fighters, media, and fans worldwide, shaping ongoing narratives across MMA coverage globally now. Move on to another news. Khamzat Chimaev defends Ilia Topuria. Khamzat spoke out after seeing people celebrate Ilya's loss to Justin Gaethje. Khamzat and Ilya have both suffered the first loss of their careers in back-to-back months. Khamzat said, "Those who rejoice at the defeats of others will never see greatness in this sport." Conor came to Ilya's defense last night. At first, Conor said he quit himself, calling it a sad sight to see. He expressed disappointment at how quickly fans turn against fighters after a single setback, especially when they have previously been praised as elite competitors. Khamzat's message quickly spread across the MMA community, with many interpreting his words as a direct response to online criticism and public reactions following Ilya's recent defeat. He emphasized that true champions are defined not only by victories, but by how they respond to adversity, pressure, and public scrutiny. According to him, celebrating another athlete's downfall reflects a misunderstanding of what it takes to reach the highest level in combat sports. Meanwhile, Conor continued to show support for Ilya, despite his own controversial history with similar situations. His reaction added more fuel to ongoing debates about respect between fighters and the culture surrounding wins and losses in modern MMA. Fans were divided, with some agreeing that criticism had gone too far, while others argued that elite athletes must accept public reaction as part of the sport. The situation has now become one of the most discussed topics in MMA circles, especially as Ilya's recent loss continues to trend across social media platforms. Analysts suggest that both Khamzat and Conor comments highlight a growing divide between fan expectations and fighter mentality in high-level competition. Attention now shifts toward how Ilya will respond in his next appearance, as pressure continues to build from all sides. Supporters believe he will return stronger, while critics remain focused on his recent performance and what it means for his standing among elite fighters. The conversation continues to evolve as more fighters weigh in, and the MMA world reacts to every new development surrounding Ilya's journey in the sport. Move on to another news. Dana White said Ilya suffered a broken orbital bone. Dana reveals Justin Gaethje made $825,000 just in bonuses last night, and also says he'll never host another fight on the White House lawn ever again. Yeah, Ilya's in the hospital. He's busted up. I'm not a doctor, but his eye looked like he probably has a broken orbital. I don't know that's not a fact, but I'm just assuming. And my plans for him are to go home and rest and recover and take his time. And tonight was a rough night for him. I just want to make sure he's healthy and good and not even thinking about him fighting again. Just want him to go home and relax and rest and heal. The bonuses tonight are fight of the night, Ilya Gaethje, and performance of the night, Gaethje and Gone. So Gaethje wins like $825,000 for bonus. You don't think there's a chance the president says that was good? Let's do it again next year. There, I can't afford it. There's no way we can do this again. This was "I'll never do the sphere again and we'll never do this again." The president and I are talking about doing a fight for the troops next year. So obviously, if you did a fight for the troops, we do all that kind of stuff. We did a lot of them in the past. We used to work with the Pfizer family, who were very dialed in with the military and could get things done easily. It's not easy to get things done on military bases and things like that. But when we have the Pfizer family, and then obviously the president can make a lot of things happen. So we're talking about doing it next year. He wanted to do it this year. And I said, "Sir, I need a year to recover financially from the White House fight. So give me a year." Dustin Poirier thinks I should move back down to featherweight. The idea is being discussed after recent performances and ongoing debate around weight class changes and long-term career strategy for future fights in MMA competition at the highest level, where every decision matters significantly for legacy-shaping careers. Move on to another news. Arman taunted Ilya after the latest developments, in which Hair-Fenced winning $1 million last night, saying they called us crazy. "Ilya, if you need any money for your medical bills, let me know." Arman also promised Justin Gaethje would buy him any truck he wanted if he defeated Ilya in their high-stakes matchup. Gaethje later selected a Ram truck with the assistance of Dana White during the post-event discussion as celebrations continued around his performance. The situation quickly gained attention across the mall world as fans reacted strongly to Arman comments, which were seen as both taunting and confident following the result. Many analysts noted that the rivalry between Arman and Ilya continues to intensify with each public statement, adding more fuel to the ongoing tension inside the division. Meanwhile, Justin Gaethje benefit from the post-fight bonuses and the symbolic reward of the truck, which became a talking point among fans and media outlets. Arman's message about medical bills also sparked debate online, with some seeing it as sarcasm, while others viewed it as a direct challenge in psychology. Cal pressure aimed Ilya following the intense fight night. Dana White's involvement in the truck selection added another layer of entertainment to the aftermath as she continued discussing bonuses, payouts, and future event planning. The MAC community continues to dissect every detail of the situation as emotions remain high after the fight. Discussions now focus on what comes next for Ilya and how he will respond to both criticism and support from fighters across the sport. Arman comments are expected to keep circulating as the rivalry continues to develop. In the lead up to potential future matchups that could reshape the division landscape, fans remain divided over whether their marks were playful trolling or a serious psychological tacticus to gain advantage outside the cage. The story highlights show quickly momentum can shift in meme, where one fight result can change public perception overnight. Attention now remains on Ilya's recovery process and whether he will address the made by Arman in the coming days as the situation continues to evolve across the MA world. As reactions continue to grow, additional updates are expected as fighters respond and narratives expand further across international MMA coverage worldwide. Move on to another news. Cormier says he was hacked after controversy around recent posts allegedly linked to Eric Trump. He insisted the messages were not real and said people were quick to believe misinformation spreading online. He also reacted to questions about journalists claiming he posted the content himself, strongly denying it and saying the reports were wrong and completely inaccurate. He added that it makes no sense for him to post such things and questioned why anyone would believe it in the first place. Meanwhile, here was Josh Hogett's live reaction to Ciryl Gane knocking out Alex Baya. Their action quickly spread across the community as fans debated the authenticity of the hacking claim and the tension between media reporting and fighter responses. Many supporters argued that misinformation online can escalate situations rapidly, while others insisted public figures must take responsibility for what appears on their accounts. The situation created confusion across platforms, with Cormier's name trending as discussions continued about what was real and what was fabricated. Insiders noted that such incidents highlight how quickly narratives shift in combat sports media, where information can be misinterpreted within minutes. Attention then shifted back to Josh Hogett's reaction footage, where his live response to Ciryl Gane's knockout became an other viral moment. The clip showed intense emotions as fans reacted to the knockout with shock and disbelief across multiple platforms. This added further fuel to ongoing debates about performance levels and expectations for rising contenders in the division. Analysts emphasize that both controversy and highlight reel moments continue to shape fighter reputations globally. Cormier's hacked claim and the viral reaction together created one of the most discussed MMA storylines of the day. As discussions continue, fans remain divided between skepticism and support, while media outlets attempt to verify all circulating information. The broader MMA community continues to monitor developments closely as more reactions emerge from fighters, journalists, and commentators worldwide. With every news statement, the story gains more attention and keeps circulating across social media platforms. Thigh-speed fans and analysts expect further clarification from all parties involved as the situation develops, and more details potentially emerge in coming days. For now, the conversation remains active with no confirmation beyond denials, keeping the mole world engaged in ongoing debate and speculation. This situation highlights how quickly narratives can shift when controversy, media claims, and fighter reactions collide. Worldwide attention continues growing.